The one thing is about casting is that it's not easy. And some people think like, oh yeah, I can go home and I could do that and I could talk the points. And everybody who says that says, oh, well, come try out. Come try out and show us what you got.
I never thought it would be this complicated. I thought most of the time it was just sit down and talk about something you love, and in reality it's get mic'd up, get prettied up, sit down, get your notes out, make sure that you have something to talk about, fill this, do that. But it's actually like really fun seeing how much of an interconnected spider web it is. One little string will lead to 6 other strings and you're like, oh my God, that's where I was supposed to be at that time.
We have this group now where, you know, I walk into the event in the mornings, I see the green room, everyone's smiling, everyone's excited, everyone appreciates being here, working together as a nice team. Let's be a family, let's make sure everyone's on the same level, let's try and elevate each other, which I think really comes through in our broadcast.
One of the biggest things that the fans at home don't get to see when it comes down to casting is the production involved in all of it. We can have fires going on in the back, and our job is for you not to notice those fires, and you can't just say stop. Or you can't just say, I need a break. If you're gonna start the intro off, you can't just say, oh, can we redo this? No. That can be a very difficult thing at times, but I feel like the Gears of War casters, they do it best.
We have all this talent that makes it so much more fun because it's so much more robust and you get more personalities, and then everyone has their own little different style, so they bring a lot to it. It's been great so far.
It's not that I'm gonna say like it's something I'd never want to do on a daily basis, but it was so much more. It was like opening a door that I thought was a broom closet. It was a ballroom.
Right in front of me. I was like, you look so dapper. I told him if he decided he wanted This is why he needs to be seated next to me.
So when I first started playing games on Xbox, I had saw around that time, it was my birthday, Gears of War had just got released. It looked unique, different than any shooter that I had seen out. I ended up picking up the sniper and it just had me hooked ever since.
When you posted the picture last night on Twitter, I was like, this man is not gonna make it tomorrow because he'll have been up till like 7 a.m. trying to finish one video.
And then he showed up at 12.
I was into Halo and I was into other Xbox games. Got my gamer tag like right when Xbox Live came out. Like I was always really into gaming. My basement in high school was the LAN center. Like we would host these big Halo LANs. Gears 1 came out during my undergrad. I loved it. Like I've been exposed to so many other esports, but Gears of War just has like that special place for me. I just feel it more than anything else. Any other game I've competed in, you know, I just feel it.
My old ass went straight to sleep.
I like how you said that. You said my old ass went straight to sleep at midnight. Yesterday, the pure excitement out of me had me like a baby in bed at 9:30 p.m. Like I had the TV on and I'm laying there, my hands across, and I was like, I'm at God Blaze and Belly. They're both giving me hugs. Yep, I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody.
I'll go back to when I first got my first Gears of War back in 2008. I remember dragging my mom, just telling her, you know, I want to play this shooting game and I'm so excited about it. You know, that was 10 years ago, and 10 years later, I'm here. I auditioned through the talent search. I met Blaze in Dallas at a Call of Duty event, and he was like, you know, you should go out for it.
As I've said to Waldo Patrick, Blaze knows, I've only missed 2 events as a spectator. I love this game more than anybody can imagine. And I'm old. I'm 30.
Hold on, wait, 30's old?
For me it is. Because that's why I had to quit. That's why I had to quit golf. It's like, I ain't made it to what.com.
I was originally called Clean Kill 314. I added the 314 because it was my area code. I was young. I literally could not think of anything. I was a pretty good player. I was a good slayer. Basically what happened was it transitioned like a cleaner, kind of like the mafioso, the guy who goes in, takes care of everything. So my friends started calling me, instead of Clean Kill, just Cleaner, hey Cleaner, hey Cleaner. So it kind of stuck, and we came up with the Cleaner.
Hey, Paul. Paul,
Came by, hey,
do you know if Brian, like at 11 o'clock that meeting?
Yeah, we're gonna meet in the green room. We're gonna do a dry run, basically checking all your buttons, checking IFVs, checking mics.
When it came down to Vegas, there was a lot of our key guys in which we didn't have in position. We didn't have Benton at Vegas, we didn't have Fallout, we didn't have Momo. We needed to increase the talent pool. And so at that point, we did another casting contest. We had about 30 or so entries. We came down to a few finalists for that one, and that was Jordan, Colin, Emily, Cassandra, Taylor, and as well as Spaceman.
I've never actually had any experience in any casting, any on-camera roles whatsoever prior to this. This was just kind of like a wild, off-the-cuff dream that when I saw it happen, it was a golden door of opportunity, and I was gonna bust through it as hard as I could if I was given that chance to get close enough to the door.
So the first ever game I casted for was Call of Duty back in the Modern Warfare 3 days. So we're going way back in time. I don't want to say I'm a veteran, but that's how a lot of newer people that come into, casting see me as. And it's funny because I'm still relatively young. I'm only 26 myself, but they'll ask me, what was it like when you first started casting? And I have a video, and it might be the most embarrassing video of any professional commentator in esports ever. That's how bad my first cast was. But that's what I think is great. You learn from mistakes and you grow and you just kind of stick at it. It's been almost a decade of just trying to perfect the craft, if you will.
So watch that kill feed to see if Josh is going to go for 30 bomb against Optic Gaming.
Yeah, a lot of support from both in the audience and I'm sure on the live stream back
Big
at
T,
home. Timer with that 3-piece. That was absolutely fantastic.
The thing that inspired me to try to go out for the casting call was honestly last year when they were in Paris, Benson and Blaze more. I saw him do such a magnificent job. I've admired who he is for the community. He's a respected member of the community. I said, you know what? If this is the only chance that I'm gonna have to try to give back to the community, to go up there and try to put this passion into my casting, I wanna do something to try to give back finally, since I feel like the community gave me so much by giving me a place to call home almost.
I was a streamer with Gears of War way back when, and then I got found by a community org, Hypefestation, and then my good friend Waldo, he's actually the main observer. He kind of said, hey, I have this thing with Gears of War. I think you do really well at it. I want you to come give it a shot. So Waldo kind of brought me in, and then since then I've been the observer on the pro circuit and the fight nights as well. And then this season kind of transitioned over to the analyst role to kind of get back on the desk.
So I used to play professionally. For about 7 years, competed. We started having these live streams, Twitch TV became a thing, and they needed someone to kind of step up. Always had a knack for kind of being in front of camera. I loved talking, loved the game, knew a lot about the game, and it was kind of just a natural thing. So I got really lucky. I just kind of fell into it, and it's been a dream come true to be able to come and shoutcast these events to tell the stories of these amazing players.
I feel like everyone at first, when you start playing games, think, oh, I'm the best. I'm without a doubt the best. I could compete. Like, you see pros and you think, nah, I'm better than them. And I got a very big reality check very quickly to the sense that, no, I'm actually not that good. So my path was very quickly denied in terms of being a professional player. But I still have this love for a lot of different gaming communities, for competing and trying to make people smile and make people laugh. And I kind of looked at it and said, well, what can I do? How can I try and impact the esports world, which back in my day, when I first started at least, was still very new and very fresh. And I thought, well, on camera stuff, I'll try and be a commentator. And somehow, some way, not sure how, I ended up here, like nearly 10 years later.
You're gonna have problems with that, bro.
I have to go this way. I'm locked out.
Alright guys, so my name is Brian, in case you guys don't know or need a reminder. I'll be producing the show, so you'll hear my voice for the most part. This is Clayton, who's going to be producing the Bravo stations. Just make sure to listen to either him or me for the show.
I started off playing Halo. I remember in high school, Halo 2, it was a midnight release at like a local store. I posted flyers like out through high school, like, hey, no school, I don't promote this, but no school this day. And we hosted a huge LAN party when Halo 2 came out. I started picking up on some of the MLG events, and Halo was my first MLG event. I played in a free-for-all, and then I heard that Gears was coming onto the scene. For several events that I went to for Gears of War, it was always awesome just to go watch Halo in the downtime.
This is Paul. In case you don't know, Paul
Think about it.
is going. Paul is like your go-to. He's kind of like, if you don't know where to be, he will be the one to tell you where to go. So the 12 o'clock to 1 is just going to be tech rehearsal for the most part. Basically, can you hear me? Our observer's working. Observer's not working. We need to update, get everything updated, all the drivers you need. I did as much as I could. It's all tech for the first hour. Afterwards, when we come back from lunch, it's going to be like actual rehearsal.
On Thursday, we had our rehearsals. We all met up for the first time as a team. I wasn't the only new person, but we all had a chance to meet and hang out, see what Brian, the producer, wanted out of us, and get an idea and a feel for the stage, for the floor, what I needed to do too.
We got a lot of people here, and I can't be chasing everybody around, so if you know you're coming up next or you know what match you're on, you need to pay attention to that schedule and be ready to jump in and be where you need to be. Brian likes everybody there with headphones on 2 minutes before we go live. If you're not there with your headphones on, ready to talk, Brian is in my ear I love Brian, but I don't want him in my ear all the time. So please be ready about 2 minutes before you need to go live with your headsets on and those things. But you need to pay attention to the schedule and where we are. Remember, we run an accelerated schedule, so times, they're just placeholders. So a 2 o'clock match could really start at 12:30. You just need to be cognizant of which matches are being played and where you fall in line with that. If you predict that you're gonna have overlap between Alpha and Bravo, let me know ahead of time. I'll work with Brian, we'll get it figured out. Jessica, Prey's girlfriend, is gonna be doing the hair and makeup again. I think everybody liked her in Vegas. She was a good job. She's very nice. She does a great job.
When we had our first meeting, our first like real Gears Esports production meeting, this is how it's all gonna go. I've actually told the joke now a few times to a few of the guys because they actually could see it written all over my face. I kept saying to myself, I'm gonna wake up Monday morning and I'm never gonna have gone to NOLA, and I'm gonna realize that I've been in a coma for the past month. None of this actually happened. I missed the event. And like people keep reminding me like, hey man, you're here. It's not that you've made it, but you're here. And I'm like, yeah, but I still don't believe that I'm here. So for me, it's this feeling of I sat in that first production meeting and I'm still, to this moment, waiting to wake up. And I haven't yet, so thank God for that.
Colin, I don't know, and Jordan, I don't know how familiar you are with like comms and stuff like that. I'd love you to at least just get a rundown with Guy or Momo, just being like, this is your talk back, this is your cough button, when to use it, how to use it, and all that stuff.
And then also, Colin just reminded me, we were talking about it earlier with the talkback. The first time we're going to be having the talkback from the observers to the casters, or just that open line of communication. So say if the casters miss something, like a boom shot that's dropped, boom shot's still in play, something quick, or if they want to communicate back to us, just so everyone's aware that that line is there.
So as an observer, I need to calculate and determine where the fight is going to be 3 steps ahead. I want to showcase the talent of the players. That's what's most important, is that I want to show why these guys are here. It's because they are the best in the world. So if we can showcase their talent and put on a good show for everyone, it means we're doing a great job.
Saturday morning, PR and Letnick has a game, and me and Spaceman has a game. But on the analyst desk throughout the whole weekend, I'm gonna see if players that are free and other people that are there that can kind of fill in those spots, because what happens is that you guys don't have breaks. Yeah, and yeah, I think I may actually overuse Ribs a lot purposely, because I like Ribs and he's a very smart person.
So last season we had a little bit of a smaller talent pool, and it was a grind. We do this because we love it, we love the community, and what's great about it is we all kind of come from the community. This time around with the larger talent, we don't necessarily have to do that. We can do one set, we can kind of take a breather, and it allows us to actually watch the matches as a fan, because at the end of the day, we're all passionate, we're fans about the game as well.
It's always been a very close-knit community. Everybody always tries to embrace everybody, especially with the casters. We try to help each other out. If you have feedback, let me know. Constructive criticism. Nobody really gets mad at you for saying that. Like, I would love you to tell me what I do wrong. I'll try to improve on it in the future. We are pretty much a family.
All right, so back at noon.
I do not know when Big gets in. He's been very active in the DM.
We were there. We all almost died in the elevator.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I was the only one calm.
I'm never
shaking,
riding an
having a
elevator with
panic
these people
attack.
again.
We're all gonna die.
It was absolutely horrendous. It was terrifying.
I do have to ask the stupid questions though, and the first stupid question is, do y'all believe you have a grudge match? And if you have a grudge match, who is it?
I mean, if we had to choose one, it'd probably have to be Echo.
You guys ready for a good show?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm excited.
Main thing is just be yourself, have fun. Okay, there it is. MC Gears. Ready to go, check 1, 2, 1, 2. I warm up my voice, just get hype, get in the mode. I'm already, got the gear on, so that get me in. Once all the people get in and the crowd get here, then I'm ready to rock and roll. That's where all my energy comes from.
Let's go.
I'm down here. One more now. Tell me, man, you guys were absolute beast mode.
I mean, we finished last in Vegas. We come out here, practice, we have it. Blood, sweat, and tears. And honestly, the opposition, they were good, but they weren't good enough. 7-0, 7-0, clean sweep. I'm looking to take on Team Guy Blaze. I think that's the weakness of this tournament. I want the easiest possible route to the final. Team Guy Blaze, then Team Waldo. It should be an easy route. Benson's going to be in the finals. It'll be a good game.
Right, and for Team Blaze, do they have any chance at all to win?
I don't know. Blaze is a really good sniper. I think that Blaze can do something with it.
You want to practice with him jumping into Bravo Charlie Delta?
I'm just coming out tired.
Upset alert on Delta as well. Team Belly dominated Team Waldo. I mean, we kind of all expected it, but it is amazing. Waldo, what are your thoughts?
My team didn't listen to me.
Do we have a rollout? Any practice rollouts?
We don't have any practice rollouts. We can put something there though and time it out if you want to do that. Hey, Christian, give me that the end of the last intro video, 15 seconds, right?
All right, and this has been one amazing event so far here at MLG New Orleans. Team Benson dominated Team Guy and Team Belly has dominated Waldo. We're gonna see if these upsets will stay here in NOLA.
3.
He's too short. And dip the black, and ready blue, and roll blue, dissolve blue. Track.
I did my vocal exercises this morning. La 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 la, I hit them all. Bow bow, bro, I already know. Okay?
You actually do vocal exercises?
Yes. Do you not hear me mumble in regular conversation? Do you not hear me stumble on my words every day?
Yeah.
I'm good. Cause I just got lazy speech. You know what I'm saying? I just got lazy speech on top of the dyslexia. So it's just like, all right, I just gotta really enunciate. Pronunciate. There we go. See, those are the moments in which you love me for. All right.
I was hoping you would fuck up. I was hoping so hard.
See, why he always be trying to show me up? See, this is why I gotta go.
So for talent, your typical event is you'll fly in a day early, normally a Wednesday, and then of course the event starts on Friday. So for most people, it's get here around about like 11 p.m. and that's when it's like, all right, game time. You know which series you're going to be casting. You know who you're casting with. You have to make sure that you have all your prep done, whether it's notes, stats, facts, whatever it is you want to bring to the table. You have to make sure you're ready. You obviously spend a lot of time at that point with your partner, just kind of making sure that going into the game that you know you're casting, you have the storylines you want to convey to the people at home.
So it's been like, what, over a decade since I've been in high school.
Super detailed about it.
And I'm like, dude, I swear I forgot how to take notes, I swear. It's like everything's like, everything for me would just be like online, but yours is actually like that's actually smart.
Jacket or no jacket?
If you guys are gonna do jacket, you need a jacket. If you don't have a jacket, you really don't. But I think you need a jacket because I don't want that sweater without a jacket.
Okay. You gotta hit the dusty mirror before you go up there, make sure everything's looking good. These are a little bit of the things I always bring to tournaments. I always switch up the pin swag. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's a little bit different. You know, we go with the context on the fly. Depends how we're feeling that day.
Some of the things that were harder to get used to was you're talking to a camera lens. You know, there's an audience out there somewhere watching you, but you're just camera in front of you. You're supposed to talk like, you know, you're in the room with those people. There's 20,000 people watching me, and it looks like, yeah, I'm just talking to a lens right now. So it's a little weird when you think about it, but I kind of try to put it out of my brain and just focus on the show and the matches going on.
This show is going to run great. I hope you guys bring your top energy and everything like that. So let's knock it out of the park. Cool.
Everybody start heading to their first positions for the day. Alpha, Bravo, everybody get ready. 14 minutes from now, show goes live, so let's get situated, let's get set up, make sure everything's perfect.
Because Waldo's not wearing a jacket, Rose said one of us has to remove our jackets.
It's not us.
Not me. I look dapper as fuck.
No, you're the
I'm the host, so I should.
You should have a jacket.
I
You
should
be the most professional-looking person on the desk at all times.
I like the way you think.
They're taking off
They're
their
coming
jackets.
to your
I'm
desk.
keeping my
You
jacket.
dress how you want.
My heart gets pumping every single time before events. We're ready though. It's gonna be the best one yet.
Behind the scenes, you guys need help, you need some water, you need
Just always trying to make sure everyone's taken care of, just because I honestly care about everybody. I just loved casting. Like, I don't think I was good at first. Still now, I know I need to improve, but Blaze kind of opened that door for me, so I love Blaze for that.
For me, I actually had like a 6-7 month break where I didn't cast because I wasn't at Vegas because I had a conflicting event, and it was weird. I was kind of sat at home watching everyone on my laptop. I'm like, damn, I wish I was there. And it was funny because on Friday I sat down in the booth, I kind of looked at Guy and I was like, this really has been a while since I've sat next to you. And I was a little worried at first. I was like, I wonder if our chemistry's still gonna be there, because we went from casting every single week, doing all the fight nights, all the major events. Like we were inseparable, quite literally like a family. And I kind of looked at Guy on Friday, I was like, I wonder if this is gonna be the same. And instantly it just flew, like it just came straight back to us. We got into our natural rhythm, our natural flow of things, and it was like I never left.
The hardest thing is always gonna be the opening of the show, day one, getting that intro right, all the bells and whistles, trying to catch that flow. But once you get into that flow, it's usually smooth sailing from there.
The energy, it's great up there. As the weekend goes on and the teams start getting eliminated, you have your casters on one side, you have your analysts on the other, and you have your hosts as well. And again, we all try to work together to bring the best possible product we can bring.
Despite that, the B-Hill now completely neutral. As soon as Simplicity get a little bit of control, he used fire, just storm straight back inside, retake control. And now, Guy, to be honest with you, this round is done.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Placement. You need to place them offensively, meaning place down what your team needs to, decide what's your favorite fight. Do you like fighting over there, B? Do you like the pin?
When it comes down to Brian Baldomero, he is like the GM in the front office, the coach of the team. Before everything else starts, it all starts with Brian first. He listens to everybody, and he's there to make the best possible Gears of War show that he can produce. And he's done that masterfully multiple times.
When we have the headset on and we're just kind of going through the match, you can either hear the director, who's Brian, who is hands down amazing, Clayton, who's been our Bravo station guy. Sometimes he'll hit you with something and you're not supposed to stop, and that was something I was really skittish at first. The first time I heard him, I thought it was the voice of God, I'm not gonna lie. But every time after that, it's just take it in and just do whatever it is. Like, don't question it, don't try to hesitate and be like, maybe he's wrong. If it's a piece of information about the game, convey it. If it's something you gotta do to make the shot better, just do it.
I can actually talk to the casters directly. I don't really like to bother them too much because as a caster, they're in the zone. I don't want to really disrupt them. So as an observer, my role is, sitting in the back of the control room, driving the cameras, in the spectator mode. So you're seeing what I'm seeing. You're viewing the gameplay through my eyes. It's my responsibility to give you a good show, but also tell the story of the map, of the round, and really how these teams are really going at it. I'm displaying what I want them to talk about, telling the story in terms of, one team in one round, the other team in the next round. Do I want to talk about the underdog? Do we want to talk about, just the action heavy round? Do we want to highlight the home player? This makes our spectating super nice, because you can see we jump to Cog at any point. We can jump to Locust at any point. We can jump to the hills. And then we're able to sort of change the camera with a button here. The B-Hill cam's pretty good here because you can sort of see a lot of the fight, and then we can just jump right into Kyle. So this is a 2v2 fight often on this map. We can pop out a little bit and start to see a little bit more of the fight. Look at Exclusive coming in on the flank. Kyle doing a good job coming in, and they get cleaned up there. So, and now we can just sort of boom, fly into the other side. We knew that guy was going to start capping the hill, and it gave us an opportunity to say, wow, there's a big fight going on, let's dive in. So I'm going to pop out a little bit so we can see more of the action with the smokes and how they're holding this down, and they're just setting up a wall right here. That's really sick. So that was a good little story. We started off at B, we came in on Kyle, they lost the 2v2, and we flew across the map, and then they clutched up on the home hills. I'm super critical of myself with this stuff. So you can't catch everything, obviously, but you just want to feel like you're telling a good story with it.
I started graduate school just specifically to be a floor reporter. There was some backlash for me because people don't understand what esports is, but once you tell them, like, this is something I'm passionate about, this is where I want to be and I know I can do this, they understand. So I have interviewed players, but not on camera. Joining the talent pool for Gears has been amazing. I've learned so much from these guys. Even my cameraman, he has coached me through a lot. Having that second person there, like as soon as I'm done with the interview, they're able to say, well, this is what you did good. This is what you can possibly improve on as well. So I always think that improvements are necessary, and I definitely believe that there's always something I can improve on.
The one thing is about casting is that it's not easy. And some people think like, oh yeah, I can go home and I could do that and I could talk to points. And everybody who says that says, oh, well, come try out. Come try out and show us what you got. Because they don't realize you're there and you're talking, and at the same time you're thinking of points in your head, right? The next thing you know, the producer comes in your ear, he's telling you what's coming next. The next thing you know, the observer's talking in your ear and he's trying to tell you some stats that's going on, all while you're trying to listen to the points of your co-caster, as you're trying to follow the action of the game, as you're trying to stick to the pace. And then at the same time, you may have a brain fart somewhere in there. You're like, all right, where do I pick up on this next point? And you find a way to get into your flow. That's all hard things to do. You know, and not everybody can do that, and it takes time.
I feel like looking at the grand scheme of things these last 10 months has really developed me and helped me. It's just been an amazing experience because in school, like, you know, you're doing it just for class, probably for a grade, but now I'm out here, like, this is literally people's stories I'm dealing with, and I have to do a good job of telling them.
For me, when I'm not on the desk shoutcasting, I don't consider it a break. There's no such thing as breaks for me at these events. I'm either interacting with the players and talking to the players, getting their perspective and insight, or interacting with the fans and trying to get the crowd hyped up. They kind of call me the hype man, so I like to get the crowd hyped up at times, and you know, again, that's just all out of passion, out of love for the game. I feed off their energy, and it's really awesome to kind of give back. I have so much fun at these events. I think it's me in my prime, me at my happiest, that I don't want to waste a second. There's some amazing stories that need to be told, and I'm really glad that we were able to tell those stories every single event.
Everyone has a story. I love doing this type of stuff. I love entertaining. I love telling a story. I love putting a smile on people's faces, and you can do that through casting. You can entertain people. You can put a smile on people's faces, because, like, I don't like to see people upset. It's just a matter of what you do with your life, and, you know, if somebody's not right to you, that's not an excuse to be not right to somebody else or them back. You gotta be the bigger person. Like I said, you gotta be that change. And it starts with you, and then it starts with one person at a time.
Now for Echo Fox. That is an avalanche effect. You lose a round in that fashion where it's just a long, drawn-out trench warfare battle, and then all of a sudden you turn around 39, 50 seconds later. You're gone again.
Fast as it can happen like that.
You have got to get in a huddle and talk to your boys. Talk about what you're going to do to stop that from happening again, because if it does again, you go down one match to none, and you're staring at a bus ticket.
You don't want to be going home except with that top prize in your back pocket. Double marks it, plays down on that. Kyle, such an expert.
All right, guys, this could be a win after this.
Monkey's also an amazing marks it player as well for both of these teams. Now with the trade-offs coming back and forth now. And there goes Chaos with an amazing set of patience there to use it. And you can see it with another score update down there at the bottom here. FE United actually pulling off the first map against the Gosu crew, 7-2-4.
So far this weekend, I've been working with my partner Colin, and we have just been hitting it off right off the bat. I don't think there was ever any snags. There was never any point where we weren't on the same page. Everything so far, you know, working with him has just been phenomenal at this point.
You're still the best. Yo, no, you are the best. Yo, was that your, you got one more game, right?
I got Bravo, yeah.
Yo, you've been great. Awesome. Like, yo, honestly, got you nothing but love. You've been killing all weekend. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Oh, when it comes to this weekend and enjoyment, a kid in a candy store, kid on Christmas morning, kid on Easter, all those kids, if you put them together, you multiply it by infinity, you finally might get close to where I've been for the past 72 hours. I could not tell you what it's like to meet some of these guys that I respect their opinions. You got people like Waldo and Cleaner and Rob, oh my God, Immortal Spawn. Open up his skull and it's an encyclopedia on Gears. It's like, oh my God, it's every piece of information I could ever want to know. You got people like Fallout, who used to play the game at World Championship levels, sitting 2 feet from me. I can look at that guy and ask him a question about how he feels. I can't put it into words. I keep finding myself speechless because I'm like shaky around some of these people. I'm like, y'all are the best. Like, y'all are all the best at what you do. I wanted to get them all into a huddle and be like, I don't know why the rest of y'all even look nervous right before the show goes on, because you're literally the best. If I wanted to put together a Gears of War dream team, it's in the room already. I just need to leave, and then the dream team's here. I'm kind of just the water boy. Here's your water, I'll leave now. But they all just kind of laugh at me when I kind of self-deprecate, but it really is. It's this Mount Rushmore of a Gears of War historical figures that I don't think you can ever surpass.
Down to Kenny. It's all down to Kenny momentarily. East completely neutral. Meanwhile, Fran and Kyle, they just need to touch the hill.
Take 5. Take 5. Go back to the game.
Optic Gaming, the 7-1 victory in Game 3. They are your MLG New Orleans
champions. Well deserved. It was not an easy victory. They were challenged. But one thing is that everybody knows that they are human. Icy, a tough loss for him, but you know he'll bounce back. He will bounce back.
And as you see, Optic Gaming, the kings of Gears of War.
Come on down.
2018
Video. Thank you.
New Orleans champs. Look at it.
35 and
congratulations, Optic Gaming, your 2018 New Orleans champions.
Stop pulling out now.
Back to the kings of Gears of War.
As a career beyond this weekend or hoping to do this again, if Gears ever gave me that opportunity, I would take it without them being able to say no. I would take it without blinking an eye, without catching my breath. I would hope they'd never say no, but I can hope for a lot. But right now, I'm so focused on this weekend and trying to do a good job that all I hope for is to make a good impression on everybody. Hopefully everybody likes me and has a fun time around here. But what I hope for the most is to do a good job for the people that watch and for the people that love Gears as much as I do.
It's a community, you know, it's a family. They're there with you whenever you want. Whenever you want to turn your Xbox on, you can have someone to talk to, have someone to play with. You're never really alone, you know, especially when you go through bad times, and it definitely helps you out with that type of community. So that's why I love it.
At the end of every event, we'd kind of sit down, even if it was only for 10 minutes, whatever it was, and we just kind of all talk to each other and say, you know, I really love that cast you did Saturday night. It was great, but here's a couple of things that maybe you missed, and here's how you can improve. Even now, like, we'll be sitting in the green room when we're watching the games, and, you know, people just ask questions to each other. I still ask questions because I'm still learning. We always try and make sure that we're together as a team.
Since joining the talent pool, I got to get exposed to some real professionals in this industry. I would say Ben Benson has really been a huge influence for me. The first event that I worked as an official analyst for the Pro Circuit, he got everybody up and he had a one-on-one talk with every single person there. And he said, this is what you're doing right, this is what you're doing wrong. And he made sure that everybody was improving. And I thought that was amazing. You know, at first, you might try to be something else. You're trying to like do a certain role. But the more you do it, you realize like the more you're yourself, and it's why, you know, you're part of this community. It's what people know you as. You start to feel more loose, and Benson like really helped me out with that.
My biggest advice to anybody who wants to become an analyst, caster, or an observer even is make content. Make yourself well known and practice your craft. Everyone has their own individual style, and it's about what you do. It's about being confident and having fun with it, most importantly. So if you can do that and you can do it well and showcase the world, then you can go far. If you don't like editing videos on YouTube, then stream. If you don't have the capability to, well, if you have an Xbox One, you can stream from the Xbox. It's that easy. Just make content. That's why I'm sitting here today. It's because I would make content, and it just progressed.
I'd like to keep casting simple. The number one thing that I was ever taught from my mentor, a commentator known as Chris Puckett, at least, was that casting is a conversation. It should never be anything different. It should be either as relatable to a viewer as two people sat at a bar having a conversation about a sports game. That's how it should feel. If there's ever a moment in any game where it doesn't feel like it's a conversation, that's when I instantly know something's going wrong. Whether it's my fault, my partner's fault, whatever it is, something isn't right. So to me, the game is irrelevant. You could put ping pong in front of me, you could put swimming in front of me, I could cast two turtles walking across a room, because at the end of the day, all I'm gonna do is have a conversation with the person that I'm with and try and make it, for me at least, entertaining for the people watching.
If you want to become a part of the entertainment world of esports, you have to love the game. You have to love being part of the whole big picture. Because in the end, you represent a brand, you represent agency. You can't be inappropriate out in social media. If companies want to hire you, you're gonna have to clean up. Part of me, when I started, I was like, oh, well, I like to be kind of crazy online. I like to say crazy. No, I had to clean up, and that's just something that I just, I had to grow up. But if you really want to do it, go watch your favorite casters. Go practice, go observe a game and record yourself over. Send it to me, link me, send it to me. I'll give you some notes. I'll send it to some people that we have in our agency. And if you think you have what it takes, then, you never know. You might get a call and you might be the next, Golden Boy or Seltzer or Anna Prosser or Smix. All these people have worked extremely hard. They've all failed forward and they all have a space now. It wasn't just handed to them.
Something, Rob taught me from Ghost, if you're watching this, is actually recently it kind of hit me why? Why are you waking up in the morning? Why are you coming to this job? And, my mom, my family, I want to provide a better life. I want to be able to help those who don't, give them money, here. You need something, you need shoes? All right, I got you, let's go. You need to eat? Let's go eat. I don't like people living how I lived, so I'm going to do what I can to make sure that doesn't happen to people.
For me, there's still so much of that little kid excitement about everything I've gotten to do that I said it in a tweet, dreams come true. Never stop fighting for your dreams. You just shouldn't, because I'm living mine right now. I had the dream to be up there. I finally am getting to call plays for some of the players that I think are some of the best in the world, and I couldn't be thankful enough.